Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Alex Thomas Show. We're a little late, but we got a great show. Got some great fellas I want to introduce you to, and a great organization, and they do really good work. I found out about them because of hanging out here at the Riverside Arts Center, and I was always really impressed with the energy at the show, the involvement of the kids and the crowd all the time. So it's Kevin and Jamel, and I'm gonna let them just tell you all about themselves and what they do.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm Kevin. My producer name is K Mass. I'm the lead producer of Breathe Easy Music Group.
And my name is Ahmad Jamil Abdul Azim. I go by Jamilski the Grand Vizier. I'm a songwriter, MC, and one part of the Breathe Easy Music Group.
All right. Now, when did Breathe Easy start?
I would say officially, maybe about 7-8 years ago. It started just being like a production company. An idea me and my friends had. It was me and one of my cousins and a good friend of mine, and we decided to join forces and make music and work with other artists. But along the way, life happens and things change, and I kind of just took on the main role of trying to create create a production company myself. But along the way, I met Ahmad, I met Jamilski, and we kind of joined forces and just kind of took over.
Okay.
A company name.
I'm wondering from the beginning, was always like a community service aspect, because what they do a lot of performances with nonprofits and other community organizations, just because it's needed. They don't accept a fee and such. Or they are definite professionals and can breathe easy as a production company. Yeah, and we're in a capitalist society, so we're social justice warriors, but we're real.
Yeah,
we know what's going on.
Yeah,
so we need
the focus wasn't always that. It was just really just me having the love for music. But when you live in a certain society that there's things that's going on, things become more important to express and participate and being positive.
Yeah, I mean, we try not to, like I say, we try to do our things for the nonprofit and community, just for the strength of encouraging that, and bringing some good quality music to that, as well as we try to get it get ours on the end of getting people aware of our music and where to purchase our music and merchandise and that type of thing that we're starting to launch. It's in its early stages, but this is where we are able to see profit as well. But other than that, like we're just birthing it. It's just really starting to come into existence. So as far as like the future goes, Breathe Easy Music Group, it started off as a production company, but I think that it's going to be something much more bigger and much more powerful in the end of it.
All right. Now, I'm like stuck. I was telling you guys earlier, like in the 70s, 80s, as far as music goes.
Yeah.
We're a real grassroots organization. The phone's ringing off the hook. We're gonna hold on the calls right now.
Call you back. Call you back. Hold
up. But the question, what I was wondering is like how, because a lot of what caught my attention and when you guys were playing a lot of the old school and such, it sounded like my soundtracks, and seeing the young kids right now all into it just like that. I really like how y'all. I'm wondering, are you into most new stuff too, or most current music, or
I listen to a lot of different genres, a lot of different types of music, different type of music. And I think being a producer, you kind of have to, because you have to kind of get inspiration from other things than what you're involved in. But yeah, I listen to.
Y'all gonna call back for real. Y'all gonna call back and call you back. No, as far as the sound go, man, it's kind of like my era of hip hop music. When I became a fan of hip hop, the late '90s and the late '80s and the early '90s is when I was really a big fan of hip hop, and I was doing it seriously. And one thing that I learned was, you know, when we used to listen to the records and we used to be like, oh my God, this song is so crazy. I've never heard anything like it. And then always be like an older person, an uncle or somebody who would be like, you know, this is a portion of a jam that we used to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we used to be like, what is that? And sometimes people didn't respect it because people thought that hip hop in the early stages wasn't a legitimate genre of music, because this is how the early hip hop creators made music. The DJs took break beats and just played a portion of the song or whatnot, and that's how it became the music. But also it educated me, because if I liked it, if I liked the producer, or if I followed what he did, I'm marveling on how he made that song. So you go back to the source. And a lot of the true DJs would send us back to the source. Listen to the whole record.
Now, didn't you guys do, maybe last year sometimes, you guys did a history of hip hop?
Mm-hmm.
We are part of that?
Yeah, we did a hip hop 101, and that was us trying to, you know, mention where these things come from. A lot of in hip hop is sometimes it's a disconnect between, you know, hip hop is now probably almost, I heard some people say about 50 years old. Or we can at least say that, you know, early 70s, you know. So yeah, it's about that time. But at the same time, so you got generations. You got kids that grew up, and you probably maybe 2 or 3 generations in hip hop, and some of us are close to the origin of it, and some of us don't know.
When you guys did the history of hip hop, did y'all name like the first hip hop record?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, in doing it, and okay, I hosted it. It started off as an idea. We just wanted to just showcase the elements of hip hop.
Did Rappers Delight get it, or is that before Rappers Delight?
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, I started to learn about, you know, the Bronx and what was going on in the Bronx. I started learning about Kool Herc. I started learning about DJ Scratch. I started learning about Grandmaster DXT. I started learning about all the forefathers of the development of the art form and what came first. You know, like, you know, the DJ was the beginning. Then the MC. The MC was the person who spoke on the mic, because the DJ was busy playing you records. You know, and it wasn't something that the DJ did, but you see how it's changed, and now you have DJs who are like spinning records. Hey, everybody get live. It used to not be like that, because they was busy doing what they were doing. Technology wasn't where you had virtual programs that would play your records for you. Had to do it manually. So, you know, I learned a lot, man, and I was glad to be able to share what I learned with the people, because these are names that, you know, if we think about jazz, there are names that pop in your head. You say John Coltrane, Thelonious Monk, or you say R&B. There's names that pop in your head. You say country, rock and roll. There's names that pop in your head. Hip hop.
For my generation, you know, Roger and Zapp, African Bambaataa, Sonic Force.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. And the movement, we learned, really learned about the African Bambaataa and Kool Herc. It really inspired me. And it kind of reinforced my inspiration and my thought about doing things for the community, because that's what they used to do. They used to plug up and just give the kids something to do instead of being other places where they could get in trouble.
Is Melly Mel still? I'm trying to think. I'm thinking some producers like that. You know, anybody? No, Molly Mall. Anything that Molly Mall made back in the day.
Yeah, really like Pete Rock is some of the people that if you want to learn like sampling techniques, I used to listen to Pete Rock. I used to listen to Molly Mall, Large Professor, and just really trip out on DJ Premier from Gang Starr. Just really trip out on where they took the song, what the portion of the song that they took, how it developed into what they made it. Because you gotta be, you should be artistic. Don't just steal a thing. You know, try to add to the thing.
When you guys did the history, like it seemed like I was watching.
I think we'll have to do that one again, man.
Was that?
Yeah,
I
we
think we
should.
should do that again.
My question is like I remember seeing where like it was a Rick James documentary, and he's talking about and because that seemed like when MC Hammer came out with "You Can't Touch This," and just took the whole groove. That was a change. That was a point, like where like the first time prior to that, a sample was a sample, at least to me in my memory. You know, as a layperson, not a rap historian, but that was that was like the first example of just snatch it, speed it up a bit, and rap over, and take the whole thing.
James Brown's was heavily sampled. Early James Brown. One of the biggest songs in the beginning days of hip hop was "Rock Steady" by Aretha Franklin. I mean, there's so many records that they found. The Apache. Apache, jump on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think. What is it?
Dumb Girl.
Dum dee da, dum dee da da dee dum.
Oh, Dindada.
Yeah,
Dindada. George.
Sorry, y'all.
Dennis Jones, you owe me. You got that album.
Yeah. So I mean,
my 12-inch.
It's so much in the beginning. It's so much in the beginning, but it wasn't. It was the early development, so it might have been a breakbeat, or it might have been James Brown screaming. You know.
Here we have to do something like, I'm gonna be 50 this year, and just some of those names. I mean, you would get people out. At an event, they would really have them. With that class reunion kind of atmosphere, but an Ipsy reunion, Westwood reunion, a Willow Run reunion, something like that. I mean, y'all would fire it up.
That was a very fun event. You know what? Actually, we did something like that. For people who are local here and grew up and went to high school here, it was an old rivalry between two schools. Forgive me.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Forgive me if I'm incorrect, but it's like the Pioneer and Huron, I believe.
Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
That's Ipsy and Ruler Run.
So jamming.
I didn't care about the Ann Arbor. It's an Ypsilanti show like that. But that's a sure Willow Run, Ipsy.
It was a rivalry like that going on, and hip hop is about competition. So back in the day, one of the things that they talked about growing up, what they remembered as a kid, is they remembered the beatbox battle of DJ Jammin' Jay and Spidey D. And so that was like one of our special pieces that we had on that show, and it brought in a lot of like you were saying, a lot of people from back in the days who really.
Yeah, I was met with. Did you do the beatbox battle here?
Oh yeah.
To that, because I had to go. Because I was surprised.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like going back and heard some of the stuff, and I wanted to. I had to. Yeah. I'm gonna catch the next one.
And it was, and it's just trying to show the essence of hip hop. It's just some of the principles that African Bambaataa taught was peace, love, unity, and having fun. And you had neighborhoods and you had schools that was rival. But the way that they competed, instead of like having fights and stuff like that, is they competed in trying to have style in different forms of hip hop. Who's the best graffiti artist? Who's the best breakdancer? Who's the best rapper? Who's the best beatbox or DJ? So it made it fun competition. Nobody got hurt, and at the end of the day, we came out with great music.
Do you guys know? Because neither y'all are young guys that can't get into a studio anywhere. They don't have that cash or anything. But is there any opportunities for youth, like for studio time or something? That's what we need around here.
Yeah, I think in this area,
adults need a studio.
I think in this area that would be definitely something, a good thing. I know in Ann Arbor they have Nutrizone, and I think they have a studio there.
But I could just to Jamel's point, like as far as just chilling things out and competing in a different way, and it is. It sets a tone, like
I mean, we want to get into help. I do personally. I would like to get into help mentoring and helping people in music, because I think I've been doing music a long time, and there's some things naturally that I think I could help with just out of my experience. But the thing about it is, it's serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying serious as far as like life or death, but as serious as like, you know, if it's something that you want to seriously do, I'll spend the time and help you develop it, you know.
Yeah.
But if it's something like, oh, you know, it's, you know, if you what you bring to the table makes it easier for the whole thing to come together. You know, so you sit in the studio, you got a singer, she can't sing, so she can't write, somebody got to write.
Yeah.
You need music, somebody got to make the music. So at least if you can write, it helps the process. Or at least if you could if you develop on what you can, it helps the process and making the thing happen.
Yeah, it does.
And I just found so many youth that just haven't discovered what their genius is and what the talents they have, and, you know, and they haven't had anybody like supporting them to help them in that way.
Oh yeah,
you know, dealing with whatever life situation that they're in, and that's with some mentorship.
We're here for that, and that's what we've been doing at the Art Center. When we put on shows, we try to put on, if you will, the underdog, or the people who are, you know, developing their, you know, give them that opportunity to, you know, work with their talent. Because one of the biggest things is, you know, I noticed is a lot of times people developing their talent, they're nervous, they're unsure. I just feel like it's like swimming. You got to jump in the water and just start trying to tread it. You know, but sometimes you got people that are nervous. Sometimes seeing a thing done, like in basketball, seeing a thing done makes it easier for you to do it because you've witnessed it. So we try to do that too. But as far as like, that's what we've been doing here at Riverside Arts, and trying to give a place for these young kids to do it and try to have it organized and structured and let them see how to do a show.
And I think that's what's so great about Riverside as far as being an arts and culture center.
Yeah.
The focus on arts and culture is with the idea of how that can be a window or a path into creativity in all kinds of forms, and just and such, you know, and it's just that you can discover that about yourself, and carry it on in other things.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hip hop got a lot of people out of the ghetto, out of poverty, out of situations where, you know, there are artists that say it saved their life. And what I mean by that is the arts.
Yeah.
You know, the arts is, if you think about the elements of hip hop, DJing, it's a job.
Yeah.
A graffiti artist, he can get paid to make murals. A break dancer, he can become a choreographer. An MC can become a songwriter, a poet, literature. He can get into. It's so many things.
Yeah.
And it's a
politician.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it's the genius of the genre of music that maybe, you know, back in the day it was a battle of who could master all the forms of hip hop, but it might be your thing. Like, there are famous graffiti artists. Yeah. They get paid lots of money to do people's murals or paintings, and the DJs, like the DMC battles are crazy. I mean, like, there are some DJs to this day, Jazzy Jeff and the pioneers are still getting their money. So like I say, it's hope. And it all depends on what we put into the culture is what we get back out.
Yeah, we got about 5 more minutes left because I had the other engagement here at Riverside with the equipment. But I have to. Did you guys catch KRS-One when he was in town? Yeah, I missed him. Because I know he was just cool and got to kick it with people. Did y'all kick it with him, or y'all just
I took a picture with him.
Oh,
he's one of my heroes, and this is where I kind of like.
And you made me think of him, because I got that, you know, the teaching aspect.
Yeah,
the kid.
That's what I mean. KRS-One. One thing I love about him, and one thing I love about hip hop music in general, is that it's spoken word, it's poetic. So you can put in messages, you can put in things that you want to put in, your opinions, your feelings, your way you view things, your perspective. Sometimes those are the best and dopest records that last forever. KRS-One made an album called Edutainment that blew my mind. That blew my mind. And so I was very inspired by him coming.
You must learn on that one.
Oh yeah. He came down to, what was it? Was it Ziggy's, or was that the
He went to Ziggy's first.
Yeah.
He spoke at Ziggy's.
Yeah, spoke at Ziggy's, and that's what it is, you know. You know,
and just saying that, I mean, hip hop. There was some older guys, not in hip hop. You know, the guys around the way as far as open mind to Afrocentrism and true history, real history. I'm not talking about social media, specious posts or whatever, but recognizing the colonialism in our education in the year century. And hip hop really did a lot.
Oh yeah,
for was laying it out. And that You Must Learn and KRS.
I mean, that's the beauty about the music. We could talk to each other. That's the beauty about the music. It's with the I remember they said Ebonics. They called Ebonics a certain language.
No, it's African American vernacular dialect.
Okay, well there you go. So African American vernacular dialect is mostly understood by other African Americans who speak and understand this language. So, you know what I'm saying? You speak to the people in a way that they understand.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about music. And there's educated people. So, you know what I'm saying? I make intelligent music. I made a song called the Higgs Boson for people who understand physics and science and astrophysics and metaphysics and that type of thing. Yeah. But I also write fun music too, because that's the power of spoken word and speech.
I'm glad you said, and I mean, it's such an educational tool, hip hop, because there's so many brothers that would have never been looking up Machiavelli. And philosophy that sparks the conversation.
Exactly.
It puts that spark in the mind and that path and the youth structure to put stuff in and match the pieces and all that, So do you guys have a gig coming up? Anything else? Because I'm gonna put everything. You'll be able to see the links underneath this video real soon. But if just right now, if you guys anything
we got some things coming up in April. We're going to be doing something here at the Art Center with Brother Noah Rucker. It's going to be a book day event here, and we encourage people to come out. We encourage people to come out and learn about the history of Book Day. We have some more events coming up in April that's still being kind of hammered out. These are like bigger events. We have a Facebook page, Breathe Easy Music Group, like written on this T-shirt.
Cool.
Yeah. So Breathe Easy Music Group on Facebook, or Jamil Ski on Facebook, JAMEELSKI. We always posting what we're doing. So we're also on Instagram. You can find us on Instagram. Follow us, and we're always posting what we're doing. Sometimes it's being developed, but mostly like if you want to hear catalogs of music, the links will take you there. But yeah.
Okay.
We plan on working hard this year.
All right. Kevin, you want to tell me anything?
I mean,
he covered it all.
He pretty much covered it all. But yeah, if you want to, like you said, we have a Facebook page, Breathe Easy Music Group. We're on Instagram. We're on SoundCloud, Bandcamp.
Y'all check them out and spread it around, share. I mean, they're the kind of guys you need to support and what we need more of in the community.
We're here for you. Any events that you want live entertainment, if it's for the community, it's free of charge. And we bring good quality hip hop music with a message to it. So I want to shout out my DJ Helliver. He didn't make it, from the Unfadable DJ crew. And I want to shout out Nate Brooks, another member of Breathe Easy Music Group. He go by A-List and KMI, Michael Bryant. And, you know what I'm saying, these are our brothers that we work with. We're not, you know what I'm saying, music group is exactly what it is. We're individuals who come together and make music, you know what I'm saying? And, it's no funny politics, whatever it is that you do, that you make. If you want to get with us and, you know what I'm saying, develop something, like I say, we serious, you know, as far as like, you know, traditionally, sometimes people waste time in the studio.
Yeah.
We get work done.
All right.
Professional.
Teach the kids something on that.
Professional. Yeah. For real. I mean, I just passed back what I learned. That's how the old guys taught me. Back in the day, you didn't have the luxury of money.
Yeah.
To not be prepared for the studio. So you had to be. So it brought a level of, you know what I'm saying, sharpness to you, because it costs money, man.
Heck yeah. Well, thank y'all. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. Check them out, and y'all check us out here next week on the Alex Thomas Show. Got another great guest, and we'll talk about some important topics here in Ypsilanti. Y'all have a great weekend.
Yeah, that was cool. That was fun.